Halloween 2018. Obviously a joyous occasion for multiple reasons. Candy, costumes, and of course, trick-or-treating. What we didn't expect was Deltarune, a sequel to 2015's Undertale, a widely acclaimed RPG made by Toby Fox. Indeed, Deltarune seemingly came out of nowhere, released as a single free chapter in what was supposed to be the next generation of Undertale. So, what happened? Hi, welcome to Menu Heroes, where chalk is a part of a balanced diet and broom closets lead you to new worlds. At least, if you're a purple dinosaur. Today, in case it wasn't glaringly obvious, we're gonna be talking about Deltarune. In the long-forgotten year of 2011, Toby Fox got sick. Unable to find medicine, whether it was because he was a poor college student or simply didn't look hard enough in the medicine cabinet, he ended up falling asleep with a high fever. In his delirious dreams, he saw the ending of what would become Deltarune. After that, he became obsessed with it and was determined to make the game. In fact, he even started developing it in 2012, but he stopped before he finished the first room, so that doesn't really count. After the success of Undertale, Toby decided to revisit Deltarune, and eventually did release Chapter 1, though he considers it more of a demo. After this release, not much more was heard about the game. Obviously, he had interviews about it, and it got released on major platforms like the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One, but outside of a couple details like no set release date and wanting all the chapters to be completed before releasing the game, we had radio silence for 2 years. That all changed September of 2020, when the Undertale website was updated for the 5th anniversary. That's when we finally gained some insight into the Deltarune development. First of all, development of the full game didn't even start until March 2019, and a lot of that time was spent looking into alternatives for Game Maker, the engine used for Undertale and the first chapter of Deltarune. In the end, the developers decided to stick with Game Maker, and even though it took a lot of time to reach this decision, Toby himself said he does not regret the time spent on it. This explains why we haven't heard any development news over this course of time. There wasn't anything to tell. But, as of the September 2020 development update, we've learned that Toby has created a rough draft of the game. And when I say rough draft, I mean rough. He refers to it as a readable outline for all the chapters in the game, including first-pass dialogue for all the cutscenes, examples of music, etc. Of course, not all this time was spent looking into a different game engine. He clearly spent time designing and writing for the game during the last 2 years. He's in charge of the story, composing music, designing maps, battles, and minigames. He's the main producer of the game. He does have a staff, but it's significantly smaller than it should be. Add to that his mental and physical well-being, and once again, it's not surprising that we haven't heard much since the release of Chapter 1. He even goes on to describe his severe hand and wrist pain, which has worsened over time. He describes the pain as being so intense that he literally could not play the piano, use the mouse, and could barely use the keyboard. Toby has been forced to use, and I quote, trackball mice for each hand, using voice to text whenever possible, using a foot pedal to click the mouse, etc. My point is, I'm excited for Deltarune. I fell in love with Undertale, and now my brother's fallen in love with it too. For a while now, I've wondered what's going on with Deltarune, and now we know. Toby's still hard at work on it, while simultaneously tackling his own health issues, a very small development team, and, oh yeah, the experience of having ever developed one game before. So Toby, if somehow you're watching this, I wish you the best of luck. I look forward to whatever you make, and I genuinely hope things get better for you. Until then, this is Menu Heroes.